Hello everyone, welcome to another live session. Those who are watching, please let me know if my video is clear. Can you see if you can see me and my voice is audible or not? Today it's going to be another power pack session where we are going to revise extract based questions. Yesterday's live session, those of you attended, it was with the last three lessons, the proposal, sermon at Benares and Madam Writes a Bus. Today we are going to cover the next three lessons, and today the plan is that I am going to cover Glimpses of India, Diary of Anne Frank, and the last lesson before that. What was it? Just a minute. Mijbil the Otter, yes. So this is what I'm going to cover, and I hope all of you are ready. You must have revised the lessons, because if you have not revised the lessons, then it is going to be difficult for you to solve the questions. Those of you would be watching the video later on, even you would be able to revise the lessons properly. Okay, but I hope that you are reading the lessons thoroughly, because if you don't read the lessons line by line, then it would be difficult for you to answer the extract based questions, because extract based questions means that you need to understand word to word. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's dive in, and I'm going to start with the first lesson, which is Mijbil the Otter. I'm going to read the stanza first. Mijbil, as I call the otter, was in fact of a race previously unknown to science, and was at length christened by zoologist Lutragel perspicillata maxwelli, or Maxwell's otter. For the first 24 hours, Mijbil was neither hostile nor friendly. He was simply aloof and indifferent, choosing to sleep on the floor as far from my bed as possible. The second night, Mijbil came onto my bed in the small hours and remained asleep in the crook of my knees until the servant brought tea in the morning, and during the day he began to lose his apathy and take a much too keen interest in his surroundings. So this is the extract. Now let's see what is the first question. The first question is, why did Mijbil come to his bed the second night? Why didn't he come to his bed the first night, and why did he come to his bed the second night? The options are: the narrator gave him a ball to play with. The second option, the otter started becoming friendly. The third option, the otter started becoming hostile. And the fourth option is the otter started becoming insolent. So, which one do you think is the correct answer? The first option, the narrator gave him a ball to play with. No, we cannot choose this because this is a wrong answer. The second one, the otter started becoming friendly. Yes, this is the correct answer, because the first night, the otter preferred to keep itself away from the narrator, but in the second night, the otter started showing a little change in its attitude, and it came to his bed and wanted to sleep near the narrator. The third and the fourth options are wrong, because in the third option it is said it started becoming hostile. Hostile means indifferent. So of course, if somebody is indifferent, it would never come to you, right? And the fourth option is the otter started becoming insolent. The word insolent means rude, impudent. Therefore, we will not go with the fourth option also. The option is the second one. The otter started becoming friendly, and that's the reason it came to his bed the second night. We move on to the next question. Which of the following statement is not true in accordance with your reading of the extract? Those of you attended my yesterday's session, live session, where I was also discussing extract based questions, I explained to you that is not true. What is the meaning of is not true? It means false. So which of the following statements are false? Out of all these four, which one is false in accordance with your reading of the extract? So you have to pick up the false statement. The first one, Mijbil remained glazed and dull in the mornings and was active at night. Otters are of a race previously unknown to science and were at length named by the zoologist or Maxwell's otter. The second option we know it's true. Third one, Mijbil slept away from the author on the first day. Yes, we just now read the extract and we can see that he slept away from the author on the first day. And the fourth one, otters were previously unknown to science. Yes, they were previously unknown to science and it was Maxwell who educated people about them. So we can see that the second, third and the fourth option, they are correct. So therefore we cannot choose them. The first option, Mijbil remained glazed. Glazed means when you are not very active and dull in the mornings. Of course not. Mijbil never remained glazed and dull in the mornings. So therefore the first statement is not true. So we are going to choose the first answer. I hope it is clear till here. We move on to the next one. How did the otter behave for the first 24 hours? How did the otter behave? The otter was indifferent, the otter was aloof, and the otter did not show any signs of friendliness. So you have to write this answer in one statement with all the keywords. I repeat, the answer is the otter was insolent, not at all insolent, the otter was hostile, indifferent and aloof. Alright, we move on to the next question. Explain the meaning of this line. Mijbil, as I called the otter, was in fact of a race previously unknown to science, and as was length christened by the zoologist lucrative, Maxwelli or Maxwell's otter. So what is the meaning? What is the meaning of this statement? Yes? What is the meaning of this statement? This means that Mijbil was named by the otter and it was unknown to the people. It was Mijbil the otter. The basic idea of an otter was unknown to science and it was Maxwell who educated the people about it. And that's the reason it's named as Maxwell's otter, because in the honor of Maxwell who educated the people, that's when people came to know about the otter. So your answer has to be written like Maxwell had educated the people about otters because people were not aware about it, and that's the reason otter was named and with the honor of Maxwell's name, and that's why it is referred as Maxwell's otter. The next question, find the exact word from the extract which means having no particular interest. Having no particular interest. Which word can we choose? Let's move to the extract once again. So which word do you think means having no particular interest? The word is aloof. He was simply aloof and indifferent. So we have to write the answer aloof, which means having no interest in anything. Like when you are staying away from whatever is happening and you don't take an interest in what's happening. Okay, so this was the first extract about Mijbil the otter, and I hope you are clear with the first 5 questions. We move on to the next extract. The next extract we are going to revise the lesson, Glimpses of India. Now in Glimpses of India you know that there are 3 parts. I have picked up the question from the first part, which is about bakers in Goa. The other 2 parts I plan to cover in my next few sessions, because tomorrow also there is a live session. Those who are watching, please take a note that tomorrow also I will be doing a live session, same time 9:30, and I will be covering the first 3 lessons of the book The First Flight. Alright, and I hope that all of you will be there, because you are not supposed to miss out these revision classes. These are going to be really important, and this will give you like the lesson in a nutshell. The core part of the lesson, these questions are prepared with a lot of effort. I have picked up the core important part of the lesson, and these questions which I am giving you, they are not very simple and ordinary. They are a little twisted, they are a little tricky, and I'm giving you these practice because I know that in the exam you will be getting questions like this. Questions will not be straightforward. All of you must be knowing, right? You must have seen the sample paper. Questions are a little different, where directly recall questions will not be asked. So that's the reason these revision sessions are very important. Try to attend and please help your friends also. Those who don't know about these sessions, please share the link with them so that they also can get benefited. Okay, let's move on to the extract. I'm going to read the extract. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. Monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. The baker and his family never starved. He, his family, and his servants always looked happy and prosperous. Their plump physique was an open testimony to this. Even today, any person with a jackfruit-like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. Let's move on to the first question. Let's see what are the options. Baking was a lucrative profession. This statement is proved because bakers were well off and prosperous. Bakers had state-of-the-art bakeries and modern shops. Bakers collected their bills once a year. Cakes were commonly consumed in every household. So which statement proves here that baking was a lucrative profession? First of all, what is the meaning of the word lucrative? What is the meaning of the word lucrative? The word lucrative means profitable, something which gives you good returns in terms of money. Alright, so baking was a profitable profession. How do we know that? Because bakers had state-of-the-art bakeries. No, there's nothing in the lesson which tells that they had, very modern and very luxurious bakeries. Rather, they moved around from house to house to house and they delivered the cakes and the delicacies. They collected their bills once a year. No, they never collected it once a year. Cakes were commonly consumed in every household. Yes, cakes were very common, but that doesn't mean that it is a profitable profession. The first option, bakers were well off, means they were rich, they were making good money, they were prosperous. This is the statement which proves that baking was a lucrative profession. We move on to the next question. Which of the following statement is not true? Again, the same kind of a question. Which of the following statement is false? The baker found it hard to make their ends meet. Is it true? No. The bakers never found it difficult to make their ends meet. Rather, they were very happy and content. People who are plump and rotund are compared to bakers. People who are plump and rotund are compared to bakers. Yes, there is something in the extract which proves this statement, that anybody who had a plump physique, they were compared to the bakers. So this is also true. Bakers were content and prosperous. Of course they were content. Content means satisfied. Satisfied with the amount of money that they were earning. They were leading a happy, satisfactory life. Bakers collected their monthly bills. Yes, they collected their monthly bills. So which statement is false? The first one is false, because it tells that they found it hard to make their ends meet. So the first option is the correct answer. We move on to the next one. Where were the monthly accounts of the baker recorded? For this we will refer to the passage once again. If you can see in the passage that monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. So this is the answer. This is your answer and you have to write the monthly accounts were recorded on a wall with the help of a pencil. In an extract based question, your answer should not be lengthy. It's a 1-mark answer. So avoid writing 3 to 4 sentences. Try to complete your answer in one line using all the proper keywords. Okay, move on to the next one. Explain the line. Their plump physique was an open testimony to this. What do you mean by this? So what is the meaning of the word plump physique? Plump means somebody who is a little fat, healthy. Physique is your physical structure. So the bakers had a plump physique. They were on the heavier side. And it was an open testimony. What is the meaning of the word testimony? It means evidence, proof. So the fact that bakers were doing well in their life and they were on the heavier side, fat and round, This showed that they were making a lot of money and they were leading a happy and prosperous life. The author has used a humorous way to convey his statement. Okay, so I hope this answer is clear. The answer is the bakers had a plump and heavy physical structure, which was a proof and evidence to the fact that they were doing well in their life. We move on to the next question, the last question of this particular extract. Choose the option where the word recorded has been used similarly in the passage. Okay, so now the word recorded has more than one meaning. So here are some options and you need to choose the option where the meaning of the word recorded is similar to the word way it is used in the passage. So let's read the first option. The recorded voice is extremely clear. The recorded voice is extremely clear. They recorded a guitar recital. They will go into the studio next week to record their debut album. They were asked to keep a diary and record everything they ate or drank. So the word recorded as it is used in the passage, if you see this word recorded in the passage, that they recorded the accounts on some wall. That means they kept a note of it. They kept a note of their monthly account. So this record is not the same as the other word record when we record a song or we record something on the mic and then we play it. Okay, so therefore, which option is correct? The last option. They were asked to keep a diary and record everything. Record everything, take a note of everything. Keep a written document of everything they ate or drank. So the word record means in the passage to keep a written document, to keep a note of it. Not the other record where we, take a mic and start singing. Not that record. Okay, so I hope it is clear till here. If you think this video is helping you, I would request all of you to give a like, okay, and of course share this link with your friends, because if you share it, people will be benefited, your friends will be benefited. So try to share this link as much as possible. And those who have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. It gives me a boost. And I'm planning to come up with more live sessions over the next few days. Alright, so we move on to the next question. The last extract is Diary of Anne Frank. So let me read the extract for all of you. Anyone could ramble on and leave big spaces between the words. But the trick was to come up with convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. I thought and suddenly I had an idea. I wrote the 3 pages Mr. Keesing had assigned me and was satisfied. I argued that talking is a student's trait and that I would do my best to keep it under control. Old fogey and old-fashioned person ramble on, talk or write aimlessly for long convincing arguments, made in such a manner that people believe it, quaking in its boots, shaking with fear and nervousness, but that I would never be able to cure myself of the habit, since my mother talked as much as I did, if not more, and that there's not much you can do about inherited traits. Now the first question, the phrase convincing arguments, what does it mean? It means arguments which can persuade a person, arguments which can trick a person, arguments which can convey something, arguments which can change your opinion. So which one do you think is the correct answer? Arguments which can trick a person. There are options which can be a little similar. You may think that these are somewhat similar, but you need to draw a line and you need to choose the one which sounds to you the most similar. And for that we will choose the first option. Arguments which can persuade a person. What is the meaning of the word persuade? Persuade means when you start believing what the other person tells you. When you start acting or believing in whatever he or she explains to you. That is the meaning of the word convince or persuade. So convincing arguments refers to arguments which can persuade a person. Okay, that's the first question. Now we move on to the second question. Why did Mr. Keesing assign her a work? Why did the teacher assign her a work? What was the reason? He was annoyed with her as she would not stop talking and it was a punishment. Mr. Keesing wanted to keep her occupied and was not happy with her behavior. He wanted her to talk in the class, or he wanted to test her writing skills. Now he wanted to test her writing skills. No, we cannot go with this option. So we're going to eliminate the third and the fourth. Of course, nobody would want a student to talk in the class. So therefore third and fourth should be eliminated. Now the second one. Mr. Keesing wanted to keep her occupied and was not happy with her behavior. The second part of the option can seem to be correct. He was not happy with her behavior. But let us check the first one. He was annoyed with her, means he was angry. Why he was angry? Because she would not stop talking. She would stop continuously in the class. And it was a punishment given. So therefore the first option is most appropriate. And we are going to choose the first option. Let's move on to the second question. The third one. What does Annie mean by her inherited traits? What does she mean? This means that the traits which she has inherited from her mother. Annie has inherited some traits from her mother, and that's the reason traits refers to characteristics. Her behavioral characteristics, the way she has been behaving, she has got those traits from her mother, and that's the reason she says that it's difficult for her to completely ignore or forget those traits. She's trying to make her teacher believe that it's difficult for her to restrain from her talk because she has received these traits, characteristics from her mother. This is what she means by inherited, something which we receive from our parents. Traits means characteristics. The next one, anyone would ramble on and leave big spaces between the words. What is the meaning of the word ramble on and leave big spaces between the words? First of all, when does she say this? She says this statement when the teacher had asked her to write an essay. So what she tells is anybody can just write anything which doesn't make any sense. Ramble means just talk endlessly, incessantly, without making much sense, and leave big spaces between the words just to fill up the gaps. Write something or the other and submit. She feels that anyone can do that. When she received the assignment, this was her thought, but she didn't want to do it. What she wanted to do? She basically wanted to write the assignment with some convincing arguments. So ramble on means talk incessantly, endlessly, without making much sense. This is what Annie thought about when she first received the assignment. The next question, complete the analogy. Quaking is to trembling, dash is to characteristics. Yes, can you tell me the answer, those who are watching the video? Quaking is to trembling, dash is to characteristics. First of all, what kind of a question is this? These questions based on analogy I also had discussed yesterday, because these are some sure short questions. And you will be getting 1 or 2 questions on analogy. Analogy means you have to find a relation between these two words. So the first pair, quaking and trembling, what is the relation? It's a synonym, similar word which has the same meaning. Quaking and trembling, it means the same, it means shaking. Right? Now, the second pair, one word is given, characteristics. So let's go back to the extract and try to find out which word can be used with characteristics. Now, as you already know the relation is that of a synonym. Means you need to pick out a synonym, a similar word which means the same as characteristics, right? So, can you tell me which word is the answer over here? Yes? Is it convincing? No. Is it satisfied? No. Is it ramble? No. So, can we take up the word trait? Can we take this as the answer? So, the answer is indeed trait. Trait means characteristics. Okay. So, therefore, we will write the word trait over here, which has a connection, a relation with the word characteristics. My dear students, please don't get confused when you get questions on analogy. Analogy means, I repeat, you just have to find the relation between the two words. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the 3 extracts. Today, what did we revise? We revised Mijbil. We also revised glimpses, one extract from glimpses. We also revised one extract from Diary of Anne Frank. I hope this video was helpful to you, those who are watching it now and those who are watching it later. Tomorrow also I am planning to come up with a live session, same time 9:30, where I will be revising the first 3 lessons. Letter to God, Nelson Mandela, 2 stories about flying. And I want your homework is you will read the lesson properly, keep everything prepared so that when I present you the questions, you should be quick to answer. Right. Well, a live session is not fun when you don't respond and interact. So I want all of you to attend this. If you're watching it now or later on, make sure you attend a live session so that you can practice the questions with me. And if you're getting a wrong answer, I can also, correct you. That is also very important. All right. So yeah, my dear students, do prepare well for your exams. It's almost time and I think I have to end the session. Prepare well for your exams, read the lessons thoroughly, learn the answers, understand each and every word of your lesson, because this time the paper is going to be different. But don't worry, I am there to you. I am going to be of great help because I am planning to come up with a lot of revision sessions. If you attend, you will benefit it. Okay, so keep supporting, do give a like, and if you feel this channel is giving you some help, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Alright, so thank you so much everyone and good night. Meet you again tomorrow 9:30 p.m. Bye bye.